Welcome to episode 76 of the Twig Snapper Podcast. Today I'm joined by Laney Martens of the Lawrence University women's hockey and softball team. Thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't complain. Almost the end of the week here. And, that's always a good thing.
Exactly.
So I think a good place to kind of start is, in the beginning, when did you start playing hockey? And obviously, everyone kind of starts at a different place. Some people start surprisingly late and manage to go play college. Other people start like as soon as they can walk.
Yeah. I actually I think I started late. I started around 10, for me, but before then I was a figure skater. So that helped me hone in on my skills a little bit. So I wasn't that, horrible on the ice when I first got on. But yeah, I started when I was 10 and, started playing competitively right after that. I did house league for about probably 6 months, and then they asked me to join the competitive women's team or the girls league for U10, and I just went on from there.
Yeah, I'm sure the figure skating had to have helped because you were familiar with being on ice. You weren't just
Yeah.
coming from nothing. Have you ever seen that commercial? I can't remember what it's for, but it's I think it's Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman, and they're like watching kids play hockey, and Hedman's got like a what looks like a newborn baby, and he says like, "Well, you don't have him on skates yet. I guess
Oh,
hockey's
yeah.
not his thing." So like some
Yeah,
people start
exactly.
so early, and then, like you said, you didn't start till 10, but obviously didn't matter because you're playing college hockey.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I mean, my mom wanted me to get on skates right away, whether that was hockey skates or figure skates.
Yeah.
Uh, but I lived in Colorado before. That's where I kind of was raised. And then we did a little stint in Minnesota, and to keep warm, of course, my parents were like, "Let's get them to the rink somehow." Uh, just picked up hockey. So
Yeah. And you had some success throughout some of your teams. I know we were just talking about this before we started recording, but your bio had some incorrect things in it, so I'm not even going to say any of it. You can kind of tell us about some of the successes you had before college.
yeah. Um, so I played on a 19 single A team, and a 19 double A team, all through my high school career and a little bit before then. And for my double A team, we were three-time state champs, 2 years undefeated. So that was nice. And then for my double A team, we were 2-year state champs, but we got to go to districts for those 3 years then, and we won districts 3 times, and got to go on to natties. So I was excited about that.
Was that in Minnesota or Colorado?
This was Colorado. After
Okay.
I think it was I moved to Colorado when I reached U12s. So
Okay.
played
Yeah.
there
So
majority of my life. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, those had to have been pretty exciting experience. It's like your first taste of some sort of major success.
Yeah. I was on the single A team all the way through. And I didn't make the double A team my first couple of tries. And then uh, freshman year, I joined and I got on the team. And just success has happened after that. So I was very excited to grow my skills on that side of things. And I've had coaches that were just amazing and saw something in me, and just kept pushing me forward. So that was, I guess, the best experience that I had. So, you know, take it
Yeah.
for it is.
So how did you end up in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Well, my family's from Wisconsin. My mom's from Madison. But in my looking at schools, I had a couple of options to go other places, East Coast, still Midwest as too. And then all of a sudden, Lawrence popped up that they had a new program, going into, it was 2019 at that time. So they were starting their program in 2020. And I was quite interested in it. And so I reached out to the coach and was like, "Hey, here's my video." And it just went on from there. And Lawrence has, it's pretty good in academics. And I just love their programs. So I just was like, okay, this is my school. And then as soon as I got on campus, I knew that this was the one.
Was softball part of your recruiting? Like, did you want to go to a school you could dual sport? Was that like on your radar at all?
Honestly, no. I didn't think I was going to play softball at all. I thought I was just going to play hockey. And then COVID hit, and I was looking at just the programs that Lawrence had, and I just decided to reach out to the softball coach and ask if I could do something, with them and on the team, and if I could possibly just walk on. And she was like, yeah. And then after that, I walked onto the team and been playing ever since. So
Yeah, so it wasn't your initial plan, but you
yeah,
ended up doing it. So now that you've been doing both, talk about, we've had some other dual sport athletes on. Most of them had been field hockey and hockey, maybe lacrosse and hockey. Those seem to be pretty similar. A lot of people do, but not a lot of softball and hockey. I think there was one football and hockey, which I'd never seen before.
yeah.
So I guess talk about it, because like you said, you're doing hockey stuff now. You're going to be doing hockey stuff throughout the summer, getting ready for the season, and then as soon as that's done, you got softball.
Yeah. It's definitely I mean, it's not for the weak of heart. It takes a lot of time and time management. But it's worked out really well for me. I mean, we go into fall ball in the fall. So right when the season's not really going yet and we can't really practice and we're doing captain's practices at that point, I play on the softball team and hockey team at that point. Easy to juggle around somehow because we're not actually doing stuff, but
Yeah.
And then as soon as hockey season starts, I'm straight into hockey season, and I do that until I'm finished. Whether we're going on to playoffs or anything like that, as soon as hockey stops, I go into softball. Not really any overlap. I've communicated with my coaches, when I end, and then I'm 100% theirs for the season. But I do take, my week breaks and week and a half breaks if I can, where I just like, no, I'm not doing anything. But then, yeah, I just get right back into it. So, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot, I'm sure.
A lot, yeah.
It's busy, but a lot of people like that. So I mean, if you like busy, then it's definitely it's good. So one thing I wanted to talk about, I like talking about with different guests, is either your first college hockey goal, or sometimes that one's not really that memorable. People will be like, yeah, I mean, it was my first goal, but it was kind of a weak, boring goal. So some people have another goal that's just like super memorable for some reason. So I don't know if you've got one or the other, but
yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of goals, that are memorable, and my first one was definitely memorable. Just because, when you're a first year team, every little thing is just, monumental for you. I mean, we all came in as freshmen. We had 10 skaters and 3 goalies. So, everything that you had, and, you were grinding, honestly.
yeah.
You were in the best shape that you could possibly be. You're playing against teams that have, 25 girls, 26 girls, and, can switch out girls in like a matter of seconds. And we didn't have that. We had 2 lines. So, those first couple of goals were, huge for anyone. I mean, mine wasn't exciting, of course. But I think I've gotten every single one of my goals. At least what I've had a goal on every single one of my birthdays here. So I guess that's like pretty memorable. Every
Yeah.
single time my birthday comes around, I'm like, I got to get one in. So that's really nice. Those are memorable, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. You got to
Yeah.
keep that trend up now.
I'm trying, honestly. Yeah. That last game that I had, my last birthday, I was like, I don't know if it's coming. And then all of a sudden, 3 minutes left, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Well, one thing I didn't have on the topic sheet, but it kind of goes off what we're talking about, is maybe talk about the growth of the program since you came in having only 10 girls, having that grind to where you guys are at now.
Yeah. I mean, it was really rough the first year, of course, because 10 skaters, like I said before. But we were also in a weird predicament because we were in COVID season. So we only had 9 games. Half of the conference wasn't playing, and it was split into 2 conferences because they didn't want to travel with what was going on. So definitely a different experience. And then the year after that, back to normal pretty much. And I consider that really the first season of getting in. The first one was just getting you into shape and trying to get those legs shaked out and all that stuff, and all the nerves down. And by then we were, a real team. We were at, 24 players. We had, enough girls to have like 3 or 4 lines. So at that point it was better. But of course, I mean, we were young. I mean, we were only sophomores and freshmen on that team, no one older. And we have one goalie that's older, but she just came in she was already at the school and she came in. So but we definitely had to grind through that and get used to getting back on our feet, trying to, calm some nerves. And then we had to go through a coaching change throughout that. And we have a coach that, really pushed us this year and what we have now. And we won our first ever game and first ever sweep for our program. So that was just huge to be a part of. And I was just excited to see it happen while I was here. So.
Yeah. Well, those are all the steps that you have to take as a new program. Obviously, your first goal isn't to go undefeated and win a national championship. I mean,
yeah.
There's little goals that are so important. And looking back, people are going to look at your teams and you're going to be the foundation, the building blocks for Lawrence women's hockey. But it's so hard in college hockey because once teams get recruiting, they've got deep roots and they can recruit so much. It's hard to be a new school. People are afraid to go there. They're, oh, how much success are we going to have? And some people value that more than others. So, they might not want to jeopardize certain things. And other people might look at it as, oh, I want to help the program grow. So you've got both of it, but they're hard waters to navigate.
Yeah.
So being a new program is very difficult.
It's hard. I mean, we're competing in one of the better leagues, of course, in D3. I mean, we're going against Adrian and Aurora, which are, and St. Norbert's, which are top 15, 20 teams. So when you're trying to get your feet underneath you and then going up against them, I mean, it's definitely intimidating. But, you just got to think about the little successes that you're making throughout and knowing that, Aurora only started 5-6 years ago. They were in the same position as us, and, we can get to that spot sooner or later, but it just takes the little steps. So.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I had another guest on recently. I can't remember what school. Oh, yeah, Nazareth.
Yeah.
And how their program is newer and they haven't had a losing season. So, I mean, it's really all attainable. It's just you got to work hard for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said, you play in a very tough league. I mean, Adrian is one of the best teams in the nation every single year. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of goals they can score in their games.
Yeah.
And they just light it up. I mean, Finlandia has obviously no longer got a team, but when they played Adrian, I mean, they put up 130 shots in that game or something like crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, we're looking at the score sheet and we're like, Jesus, because we have to play them right afterwards. And we're like, God.
Yeah. The one Finlandia goalie had like 87 saves and she gave up 5 goals, but I'm like, oh my gosh, 87 saves.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And, when you have those teams that can pull up, post grads that have been playing there for 5 years or, can bring down successful girls that have played in D1 level hockey. And, it's hard to compete, but, we're here and we're trying our best. And we're working towards being obtainable and being able to compete at that level, if not, this year or next year, but when our program fully gets itself settled, and
Right.
being one of those top contenders in our team, in our league, at least, and around the country, hopefully. So.
And it's a game where, I mean, any night, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something that you got to use in your favor. And you really can't let the losses get you down, because any given weekend, you can have a hot goalie. Your goalie's just feeling really good. Somebody can get the hot hand and be scoring really well, just putting the puck in the right place. And obviously the other team's goalie can have a bad night. It's just
it's so up in the air. You know what I mean?
It really is.
The game of chance,
all the time.
Really.
Yeah, it definitely
game of bounces.
All right, so we're going to kind of transition away from some of the hockey stuff to a few other things. And I want to start with, in your Lawrence bio, it says that you were in a youth orchestra growing up.
Yeah.
You played the viola?
I did, yeah. I've been playing, or I did play the viola since I was in 4th grade. I had to pick up an instrument of some sort. Band wasn't accessible until 5th grade, so I didn't really want to play a band instrument. So I stuck with viola, and all of a sudden I just kept going, and it honestly calmed me down a lot more than I thought it was going to. When you're just wrapped up in sports, it's definitely like a different aspect of like a calming technique. And I love doing it. I miss it. I mean, it's the good thing about Lawrence is they have a conservatory on campus, so I get to still listen to the con kids do all of their music, and I get to just appreciate it a little bit more, just the background that I had in youth orchestra and being able to play, and I loved it, honestly. But yeah.
Would you like to get back into it someday?
Yeah, on and off. I would like to, be able to just play here or there. Of course, just calming down. I mean, I don't really truly miss it, but I do know how much I appreciate what it took to do that, and to also be playing sports, and to have just this circle of understanding of everything. I think it also just connects to everything. You just appreciate music a little bit more, when I get hyped up before games, I hear the background music more than I actually hear the singing. So I like that a lot more.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's see here. What's your favorite food?
Right now, I've been craving some like good vodka pasta and like the vodka sauce, and I'm a big seafood fan, so put some shrimp in there, and beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I think that's a first on the podcast. Vodka pasta with shrimp. Not many seafood. Get a lot of steak, pizza, hamburgers.
I don't know. Ever since I came to college, I haven't been a big steak person. Red meat now. I stick to my chicken and just keep going from there. Cottage cheese, I go.
Yeah.
Get my protein in.
Yeah. What's your favorite TV show?
I'm a Gilmore Girls fan. I started every single season from the beginning in the fall, right when the leaves are changing, right? You'll see me. I'm grinding away on my seasons. I know exactly every single season now. I've watched it at least 7 times. It's my comfort show.
That's also a first. Haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. It happens. I mean, honestly, I'm watching Crown right now, but it's because I just finished the Gilmore Girls series again, so I had to find a new one. Refresher.
Yeah. My parents like The Crown.
Yeah.
They watch that. I don't know. I don't really think it's my vibe, but
honestly, I'm a big Parks and Rec fan too. I'm all over the place. I like anything. But
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Gilmore Girls is the go-to though, honestly.
All right, yeah.
I need that comfort show. It's first one on.
Yeah, everyone's got a comfort show. There's like that one show that makes you happy. You're always gonna feel good. Some people really like their comedies, other people don't. But everyone's got that go-to that just really always puts you in a good mood.
Yeah, exactly.
What is or who is your favorite athlete?
So being from Colorado, I like my, my skiers and athletes there. So I would have to probably say Michaela Schifrin. I just think she's just amazing. She's just a beast, honestly. She's just insane. Of course, hockey athlete though, I love some Cale Makar, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Huge
big.
Avs fan. They hurt
No.
my heart. Yeah, they don't
I'm
need.
so happy they didn't make it.
I'm not happy. I'm really
They
upset.
had their moment in the sun. They don't need it
No,
again.
no, no.
That was what last year was for.
That was so unfortunate. I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, I like Kale.
I
Good
can't
addition.
stand like two peats and three
Uh,
peats and any of that. Like all right, you had your moment. Now let's have somebody else win. I'm a Ducks fan and they're horrible. So like I don't have
yeah.
anything to root for. And we're not gonna get Bedard. The whole draft lottery didn't go in our favor.
No, Chicago just got lucky on that, honestly.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I saw some statistic. It said that the last time there was a monumental, actually, the last three times there was a monumental game changing player. It was Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, and now Connor Bedard. The Ducks have had the second pick each time. They've missed out on these monumental players.
That's just unfortunate, honestly.
I mean, we have Trevor Zegras, but he's just kind of fun to watch. He's not going to
he's
be
fun.
like,
He's talented and he has good hands. Not gonna lie.
but he's not going to be like the guy that leads us to the promised land. He needs more help and like somebody else. He's not that guy.
McKinnon, the McDavid type, ability, Sidney Crosby type ability. Yeah, exactly.
Somebody who's just a pure scorer that has that. And those
games.
guys that you mentioned, they're bigger too. Zegras isn't very big. He's like kind of scrawny. McKinnon and Crosby are like good size. They can handle it.
Those are some big boys. Yeah,
they are. I don't even know who I want to win anymore.
I gave up. I have no one anymore. I might watch the final, but I've given up all hope. See, the only thing that I have is, I'm a Rockies fan as well, and they're horrible. And I need just a winning team, and I just don't have one right now.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't watch basketball, so.
I'm a Diamondbacks fan, so I love that the Rockies are horrible because that's good for us. We can beat up everyone.
The Diamondbacks, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Are you a Broncos fan? No football.
I'm an in-betweener. I have been a Green Bay Packers fan since I was little, but they're hurting me.
No Rodgers.
He made me upset at the end of it, but I was a Broncos fan for a really long time. I'm a huge fan of Peyton Manning. I love Peyton Manning, so
it's hard not to be a Peyton Manning fan.
You gotta love that guy, honestly. I've always loved him, and I was happy that he ended on a high note. So plus, when you beat Tom Brady like that, I got super excited. I remember that. That was amazing.
He's an exceptional athlete. He seems just like a good person too, and I love his sense of humor, his personality. He's just like I don't know
great.
how you can't like the guy.
I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back to the Broncos in some. He's just so smart. I hope somehow he gets back.
He'd be great for the organization, and they need it. The organization isn't in a great spot right now. They threw all that money at Russell Wilson, and he's just horrible. He's not the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy that they got rid of their head coach. I mean, I've not liked that guy since he got hired. So now that they have the old Saints coach, I'm excited to see.
That should be good.
Yeah.
That should be good.
Hopefully.
Well, I'm just going to say one thing about the Packers is Jordan Love is not the answer. He is not going to be the next guy. They're going to be looking for a quarterback after this year, even if he makes it through the whole year. I'm not even sure he will.
It's going to be tough. I mean, you have the Vikings that are, they're just going to cream the team, and the Bears are on their way up as well. They have some good.
And the Lions,
potential.
maybe,
Lions
who knows? I don't.
One of the best defense. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Green Bay is going to be on the bottom for the first time in a while.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna all these new quarterbacks. I don't know what's gonna happen anymore. I don't know. I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's going to be interesting. That's for
Definitely.
sure. All right, we'll wrap up with 2 questions here. One of them, if you could travel anywhere in the world for 2-week vacation, where would you go?
Honestly, I mean, I'm a Europe fan, so I'd probably go to like somewhere in the Alps. I think that's super. I love Switzerland, so I would probably choose Switzerland.
I'd love to go to Switzerland. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, see those nice little cows, up on the hill. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's eat some cheese, good bread.
Yeah. There's too many places in Europe that I want to go. Like I want to go to Norway, Finland, and Sweden, and then I want to go to Switzerland. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to France, and there's just endless places.
There's just endless. You can't go wrong.
I've been to Ireland and England and Wales, and I want to go back to Ireland now that I'm older. I want to go. It's just I don't know if there's enough time in a life to do it all.
You can. There'll be a time. You just gotta focus.
If the plane tickets go down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to justify spending like $3,000 on a plane ticket.
Of course, yeah. When you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. How about we end on a goal for next year? I don't know if personal, team goal, either way. Now that you guys are inching closer, you're growing, you're kind of in a place where you can start to look at some different possible, where can we see ourselves next year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for next year. We've seen major improvements all the way around. I mean, for me, I just want to make sure that I leave the program in a better place than it was when I started, which of course, hopefully will happen, but still growing from last year. So hopefully some more wins, get some more wins at home for my fans and the fans of the Viking hockey. And maybe do some upsets, honestly. I want to get some wins for our coach who's new here, but, has all the faith for us and, help for recruiting in the next couple of years. If we can put our name on the map and, do that type of stuff, it will just help with recruiting in the end. And it will help the program. So yeah. I'm excited for that.
You guys are in a good place for recruiting. I mean, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, all fairly close. So
yeah, exactly.
Once you get some roots down, you'll be all right. I think the program's headed in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Wish you the best of luck with next season. Thanks for coming on this episode.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.